about how do we deal with people in a public space who, like, they are doing something that might not be appropriate. Some people are like, you should film them. And I'm like, I don't think I agree with that. I guess, like, I asked them and I said, is that a legal issue? Because I've always felt for the longest time filming somebody else if you didn't have their consent unless it's something really bad, like, I don't know, like, if the police, like, if it's a Rodney King situation, yes, I would totally understand filming somebody. But if you're just at the gym or at Starbucks and somebody's behaving bad or being a creeper, like, I just would say, like, let's say there's a person and they're just, like, saying really rude things to someone, rather than, like, fuel that fire, if it truly bothered me, I'd be like, hey, like, I think I might just say something to a manager about it. I might just be like, I don't think this is appropriate. But that's just my take on the whole Karens or guys staring at women in the gym and you don't want them to look. Honestly, I'm just not a big extroverted. I feel like this is something really extroverted people, like, they want to confront people, like a very extroverted person. And this is why I don't get the political stance of it or whatever it is, or the social stance of it. I'm just like, if somebody's acting bad, which they have, like, all the time. Like, there was this guy once, I remember, I don't know if people remember how Thrifties used to have ice cream. I think as Rite Aid now, they still have, like, a little ice cream thing. I don't know. I don't really like ice cream that much. And I did find out later I was lactose intolerant. Plus, I just don't eat it anyway. But I remember this one time, like, the funny thing is I always thought rainbow sherbet, which people will say technically is not really ice cream, but that's what I always wanted, right? So anyhow, I digress. There was this guy, I mean, I guess you could call him a Karen or whatever it is you want to call them, but he threw the biggest fit because his cone had a little break in it. And he said, make me a new ice cream cone. I deserve the broken one and a new one. And he threw, like, a big fit. And there always used to be people in restaurants that threw big fits. And I don't know, like, before you had cell phones and before it became a thing to post them on social media, like, people might look, but honestly, I guess just the older I get, like, I do like to do some social things. Like, I like to go shopping with my sister. If we go to Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm again, that would be a lot of fun too. But I don't know, just a lot of this general stuff that people always want to do, like this confrontation culture thingy. Not a fan. I'm just not a fan. Like, okay, we can all see that so and so is acting bad in public, or so and so was being rude to some woman. Like, I don't know. Does making a film about it make it better? Does that validate it somehow? I guess it does to people. People really like the whole validation of it, I suppose. I don't get it. I don't understand. I really don't understand this stuff. But who am I to understand what people do? I really just say I approach things from a very introverted perspective, and I realize, like, if it's something that's group or too social oriented, where it's like kind of this confrontation, wanting like some sort of reaction from other people in a public setting, I just honestly, I don't mind saying hi to people, but I'm not part of that life. I just don't crave that. Like, I would rather be home cleaning my house. I'd rather be stroking my tub than filming a Karen at Starbucks. I go to Starbucks and get my coffee. I guess I've just always been lucky because I've never seen a naughty coffee lady at our Starbucks that threw a fit about something, but I've seen them other places. Like I said, I saw them at Rite Aid. I saw them at restaurants. I think I remember one time there were these people that were just so rude. Okay, there used to be this really good Mexican restaurant called Tony's, like back in the 80s and 90s. They were just really well known. And this one guy, like, kind of was insulting them, like what was on their menu, and saying, oh, why are you serving this? And he just was kind of like a jerk. because I think that it was mostly women running the restaurant, and he was just being very misogynistic. Okay, this was like 2003, so nobody's gonna be whipping out a cell phone and like filming. No, maybe it was 2007. I'm not. Was it 3, 7? I think it was 7. I take that back. But nobody's gonna be whipping out a cell phone and like filming him in those days. So basically, the manager, just who was a woman, and I feel like he was acting this way because he felt like because he was a man. This was the problem, okay? He was mad that they didn't have menudo on the menu. He goes, oh, how can you not have menudo on the menu? And he was really mad at them, and he was like, kind of like instigating a fight. And I was thinking, well, if you don't like, and so they told him finally, hey, if you don't like what's on the menu, there are other restaurants that you can go to. And I'm like, that's weird. Anyhow, this guy was just being very rude to them, and I think he said some kind of nasty things to them, to these ladies, and yeah. And there's just been other cases where I remember there's this one man, well, the ice cream cone guy, he was royally rude to like some teenager because he gave him a ice cream cone with a little crack in it. Oh no. And yeah, so I used to think that I kind of liked eating out, but I don't miss it. I really don't miss it at all. Like, ate out once in months. Or when we do eat out, like if I go with my sister, we eat in her car, or I've done DoorDash a few times, and I'm just standing at the point, I think I cook better. I know I cook better than the restaurants. So, and if I go to get coffee, I don't know, that's different. So I just don't need. Plus, it's super expensive. Like, really? Really? Can you afford all that in this economy? I don't know. I guess if you can, good luck to you, buddy pals. Good luck to yous. So, this is always my favorite part. Like, after I wash my hair, I do the Detangle Town thing. I thought about getting one of those continuous sprayer type spray bottles. A continuous sprayer spray bottle. A continuous sprayer spray bottle. I thought about it for a minute, but I'm like, I can just like put a water on my hands and then I can wet down my hair as I comb it. Because yeah, I kind of wait too long. Sometimes I feel like before I start combing my hair out. But yeah, I'm not gonna go buy some combing device just because I waited to hair mister. What is your WhatsApp number? I don't have WhatsApp. I had it once and I thought, what's that? It was just weird because I think people think like I want to be a chatterbean with people or something. I'm not here to be a chatterbean. I'm not here on the YouTubies to be like, oh, your personal chatterbean. Okay. Okay, for funsies, if anybody wants to see in the comments where they're from, like, let's do a geography lesson. Anybody want to share where they're from tonight? Yeah. Geography 101. Geography lessons. Anybody want to share? Or anybody want to share where they're from tonight? No? This side is gonna be a little detangling. Still working on this side. Lots of detangling. Lots of detangling. Okay. Okay. Spray. Just trying to kind of pull the. Now, if people are trying, like, I think people that want to do like curling technique to get their wavy hair more curly, they're not gonna do what I'm doing. But I like to just comb out my hair. I'm not trying to scrunch up my hair. Although my hair is wavier than ever this year. I'm not doing it according to some, like, I just think it's kind of silly. Like, why is it? Okay, why is it that we went from people saying you have to straighten your hair all the time to this new thing that you have to follow some, like, you have to, I mean, you could, I guess you could be like this, you could be like, oh. We really get the waves going a bit, I guess. But I have wavy hair. I don't have curly hair. There's a difference between wavy versus curly. Like, I think with curly hair, people probably want to do all those techniques, but I just feel like I want to comb out my hair. Because it's still going to be wavy, but I don't need to make the waves look a certain way. I just want the waves, gosh, it's like more wavy than it's ever been. Very wavy, see? See that? It is magnificently wavy. Boy, my hair just eats up this water. It's like I like saturated. At the bottom, it's like wow, it just eats it up. No, because we don't want to straighten our hair. It doesn't need to be smooth. There's no, like, need for that. I don't want to straighten my hair. I don't want to smooth out my hair because that's damaging to your hair. Like, people that are into natural, like, this is a no heat. Like, honestly, people ask me, like, this is a no heat channel. Like, I use zero heat. I have a blow dryer in my closet that I purchased for my sister. I think she might have used it a couple times. And I have no need for it, to be honest with you, because I'm very minimalistic in the products I use. I don't use a lot of products. You know, I'm just a very minimalistic. I mean, occasionally I wear perfume. I put some BB cream tinted sunblock on my face lotion, very, and I use detangling spray, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, just very, very basic kind of gal, you know. yeah, I do. I don't know. Sometimes I do end up scrunching my hair a little bit. I don't know why I do that. Sometimes I'm a very. I feel like my very Syrian Lebanese like type hair textures coming out. My dad used to have curly hair when I was younger because his hair was long at that time, and I was like, huh, did you know your hair was curly? Like, did you know your dad's hair was curly? He's like, I don't know. I wouldn't have known that because his dad never had long hair. But yeah, I always knew I had wavy hair, but it's just really kind of, I think it's popping out more just because I've been wearing it like looser this past year. And I mean, I still brush out my hair, of course, but I think something about wearing your hair in a braid kind of just, it's wavy, but it kind of changes the wave, and yeah, it's interesting. It is very interesting indeed. Welcome, welcome. It's no sticky. No, like, I don't want any, like, tangles, so I just keep going through and keep going through. And this separation technique, when I saw somebody do that, it was just so game changing because you're like, yeah, you just spend like, I mean, I had kind of done a modified version of it previously. But when I saw this, I don't remember who I saw doing this, but it's just, it became like a game changer to me where you just, okay, you should always brush from the, ends up to the roots. But when you do this separation, the reason it works so well is because you take sections of your hair and you just keep pulling them apart. So if you want like a super bumped up wavy look where like you have a clumpy wavy look, this is probably not the technique for you. This is what I do because this is what I like doing. I don't go for like specific looks with my hair. I just like to let my hair do what I feel looks intuitively natural for me. That's kind of my thing. But sometimes I'll take a few pieces like I did earlier and I'll wind them around my finger. And yeah, they kind of hold their wave a little bit more. They're a little bit more SES. The S thing, like the S wave. Okay. See? It kind of just bumps up the waviness a bit. So the first round, I like to go through the wide tooth comb or just this gentle detangling technique. And then when I do my second round, I like to take a brush. Because you could go through in the first round with a brush, but I just feel, personally, like I think it pulls out more hair that way, and I like to be a little bit more gentle with my hair. Like I'm just super, super gentle with my hair. Like I don't see the point, like, a lot of people are just really like, whoa, like they're going fast. But I'm like, no, I take my time. Like who am I rushing for? Is there some like VIP event that I need to be out the door for? I mean, there might be days like, yeah, but I don't know, the longer my hair gets, I'm just getting back into my old mode of like, let's take our time. We will detangle very gently and very slowly. very gently, very slowly, very gently, very slowly. I need to clean the mud off my door. I've been procrastinating this because I'm like, are they just gonna throw more mud at my door again? Like these kids that have been throwing mud on my door. I'm just like, I keep putting it off because I know I need to clean it up. But I'm just like, I don't know, because they used to do this thing where they would ring doorbells and some people like, well, when my sister used to live with me, would come out running and be like screaming at them, and then it'd make it worse. And I didn't even come out. Later, I went to go check the mail, and they're like, oh, there she is. And I'm like, I'm not going to confront you kids because you put some mud on my door. See, that's how little I am. Like, I just don't like a lot of people thrive off this confrontation type thing. And I'm like, I am not going to confront some kids because they thought it'd be funny to put some mud on my door. I mean, whatever. Older being kids. Like, some people would get really upset about that. Like, you know, get off my lawn. I just don't have the time for that. Like, that kind of energy. Like, what? And kids will be kids. And I remember what kid. And oh no, they threw some mud on. I guess I'm just giving this as an example. Like, you could get really mad. Like, some people would probably be really mad about that. But they wouldn't stop to think, oh, like, kids sometimes do ridiculous things. I'm not saying that it's good that they threw mud on my door, but they wanted you to come out and, like, get mad at them or something. And I'm like, I am not about that. I am not about that life. I don't have time. Yeah, it is. And I think I have this theory because, you know, I felt like, okay, henna. I think doing henna a few times this past year has been really good. Okay, a lot of it's genetics, but I do have to remember, this is my opinion. Yes, genetically my hair can grow fast, but like I said, I think I shared a picture on Instagram of like my hair was very long when I was younger, like during my high school graduation. And I do think it was beautiful, but back then I didn't trim it as much. And it grew, but it never really grew past a certain point. So, okay. There's several different things that I think have helped my hair, just being gentle with it. Genetics, being gentle. Henna does promote hair growth. But also, you know, they say that rosemary is really good for hair growth. And I've been using this as like a clarifying shampoo because naturally Antonia had talked about this particular shampoo. So I wash my hair like once a week or once every 10 days. Like, I'll be honest with you, this was day 10 hair today. But you know how they say rosemary oil is good, or rosemary is good for your hair? I was looking. There's rosemary extract and aloe extract in this shampoo. So I feel like there's just something about the Selsun shampoo. Like, I think the salicylic acid is really good for keeping your scalp like nice and cleansed and clarified. And I really just, this shampoo, I love this stuff. And it has a little bit of fragrance to it, but when you smell it, it's just light and citrusy. It's really good. So I haven't tried another clarifying shampoo that I wasn't really that fond of, okay? I'll show you the one that I tried previously. And people are going to be like, oh, but that's a really cheapo one. And yeah, it's true. But there were some people, like some influencers, that said that they really loved, I don't know, maybe they got paid to say that. But there were some people that said they loved this Suave clarifying shampoo. And I used to like Suave in the past. Like, I actually love the rosemary and mint shampoo. I was using that, and I really felt like that was good for my hair. And it had rosemary extract too, but I wasn't a fan of this one because I felt like it kind of just irritated my scalp. But I really love the Selsun Blue Naturals one. The salicylic acid, not the other one. Like, not that medicated one. That stuff is, I wouldn't never use that. But this one, that Selsun one is really good. And that was like my favorite shampoo because, hey, Like, I just wash my hair like once a week. But even if there was a time I actually did wash my hair 2 times in 1 week the previous week because of the rain. I just highly recommend that shampoo. And then, what did I use? I just had this conditioner, the Garnier one. So I use drugstore stuff. I've used like Olivia before, and I've thought about getting that again, but I don't know. I just have been using drugstore brands the last year and a half, and it's been okay for me. No. I don't know what you're talking about. I make a hair. I make a hair channel. Like, I think you're in the wrong spot, but you know, hey, you do you, mister. Like, you like to have like some sort of silliness to your life. Like, I just want to do YouTube. Like, no. I'm not about that life. Not interested in that jazz. I like doing YouTube, and that's it. And I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I'm not trying to hurt your little feelings, friend. I'm just saying, like, okay, I think you'll be fine on a stick. I just, honestly though, because I just want to produce, like, and create content that would make me feel good and happy, and I can't say that there's anything that I would want to post on OnlyFans that would make me feel happy. I'm not about that. Like, I'm about happy, creative, uplifting. Like, there's nothing wrong, like, if people want to do that OnlyFans stuff, but I think it's not me, and I just really want to be me, so I can't see that there would be anything on that platform that would be me, and I already make videos on YouTube that are me, so, no, that's why, you know. That's my answer. Gosh, you're so funny. Eres Divina. Muchas gracias. Yo estoy muy content. Spanish is bad. Don't ask me to speak it. It will not very good. You know, I took some Spanish in college. I took French in high school, and then I was beginning to learn a little bit of Turkish because I was watching the show Magnificent Century. And I have picked up a few words of Turkish, but like, I could not carry on a conversation in Turkish or anything. I probably would have to like live in Turkey. Not that I'm planning to move to Turkey, but I feel like you kind of have to live somewhere where you're utilizing the language. And I don't know, like, I was just very fascinated by the Turkish language for a while, and I was like, wow, it's just so amazing. Like, I love the sound of the Turkish language. Although, technically, I wanted to learn Arabic because I'm part Syrian. And I just always thought, like, I had this memory that just stood out in my mind, and my grandpa singing songs in Arabic, like, when I went to visit him up in San Francisco. And this was just something, like, I woke up at 3 in the morning and I heard this most beautiful song in Arabic. And he was just singing, and he said, you know, Syria's coming. He was born in the U.S., okay, but he didn't learn how to speak English until he went to school in kindergarten because his parents didn't speak English. And he said something to me like, oh, like, I feel like the Syrian things are coming back to me. Although it's Syrian Lebanese because, yeah, his ancestors came from Lebanon but moved across where the border is now in Syria. It's interesting, but it's more Lebanese than Syrian. But the whole area was called Greater Syria at the time. So, yeah. Anyway, so I've always had an interest in Arabic, but for some reason, my mind was just picking up Turkish more than Arabic. I tried to listen to some Arabic. I have a couple books like Arabic, like beginner Arabic, and I tried, but I'm just like, it really wasn't coming to me easily. Whereas there were a few words in Turkish, like aşk. I love that word aşk in Turkish, which means love, like, but it's like a fervent kind of love. You know, just something about it. Like, I love the idea of it. It's like a Besaden kind of love, like a literary, romantic kind of love. And I just would love it. In Magnificent Century, like Mustafa said to the young Greek girl that was his, like, I guess you could say one of his concubines, Aşk. That's why they're together, Aşk. And I don't know, there's just something about that. So highly fictionalized, but so soap opera-y and so Turkish, but it was like, oh, yeah, I love that. I love that scene. Oh my gosh, Magnificent Century. Like, I started rewatching some of the old episodes again. You have to watch it. It has English subtitles. It has Spanish subtitles. It has subtitles in many languages. And I think it's actually been, like, dubbed in some other languages, but has subtitles in various languages. So it's something that international audience can watch on YouTube, and it's free. So I really highly recommend it. You like... Okay. You're funny. You're a funny bunny. Okay, so... I like to just make sure a section's fully combed out before I move on to another section, because I'll always feel like, did the comb really go through that section good enough, or should I pull it apart a little bit more? Should I try to comb it a little bit more? Even though it might be good, I just feel like it's not entirely good yet. But these back sections just kind of detangle themselves. I don't know. Some sections of my hair just sort of like with the finger detangling thing, they just fall, like, they're just detangled on their own. I mean, I combed out, brushed out my hair today before I washed it, but yeah, these sections just really, like these back sections, they just really, like, they fluff up. I didn't even run a comb through that part of my hair, but it just, yeah, it's like perfect. I don't know, that section, but I was finger detangling it. And do not underestimate the power of finger detangling, which, by the way, is pretty darn amazing, because I feel like with your fingers you can really get in there. You can separate anything that's stuck. My technique is not going to be aimed towards people that really want to bump up, like, their waviness. I get that. Like, if you want your hair like that super wavy style, like, you're going to want to hover diffuse, you're going to want to scrunch, you're just going to want to do a lot of things that I personally don't want to do, but hey, my hair is wavy. Look at this. Do you see the waves in my hair? That's pretty darn wavy. I don't know how much more wavy it has to be for someone to say, hey, that's pretty wavy hair. It's pretty darn wavy, man. It's pretty darn wavy. It's wavy. It's just not wavy, like, and this is the thing though, I feel like it's women, I hate to say it, like, there's a lot of really nice women that are very supportive in hair community, but it's the women that always want to straighten their hair, or the women that always want to use a hot tool in their hair, and now they've gravitated to thinking that they have to, like, make their hair look wavy in a certain, like, more symmetrical kind of way, and I'm just not about that. Like, I like being more natural. I just like being natural, you know? Are you crazy, man? Anyway, I'm going to end now because that's not what this channel is about. Bye!